I added a gravity beam using the built-in gravity area override. I also mapped some hotkeys so you can toggle between the beams. First, I decouple energy from the laser. So remove the resource, signals, update and lock functions, and handling from process. I moved it to Derp star so other abilities can use energy. Make sure it's not locked before activating the laser, and add a decrease energy function as well. Set the energy through the inspector, make sure it's local to scene so it resets. Then connect the signals to the HUD in the main scene. Now, I want the circle to stay visible when the laser is off to indicate which beam is selected. So I add a 2D node and make it the scene root. Move circle up a level and rename the area to beam. Detach the script and attach it to the 2D node instead. I reconnect the body entered and exited signals from the beam to the node. Then make the script extend player beam and remove the activate, deactivate, and generic handling from process. We'll need to call the parents process function here instead. Then I add a new script for the player beam. Extend node 2D and declare the class name. Add an export integer variable for energy cost per second. In process, look at the mouse position and emit the decrease energy signal. I changed activate and deactivate to target beam. Also revert to set process since energy regen and lockout are handled in the Derp star. Set the laser's energy cost to 15 through the inspector. Then connect the decrease energy signal to the Derp star. And make sure everything still works. Now, to make the gravity beam, I duplicate the laser and rename the node. Attach the base player beam script and set the energy cost to 10. Assign the new circle texture. Make the gradient unique and change the outer edge from light blue to gray. Remove the particle emitters and add a new one. Set amount to 10 and lifetime and preprocess to 5.5. Assign the texture and make a new particle process material. Disable gravity and direction spread. Set initial velocity to -120 and turn down opacity to 100. Then move the emitter to the end of the beam so the particles stop at the center. Then set space override to combine on the beam area. Enable gravity point, set the vector to 0, 0, and turn up gravity all the way. Disable linear and angular damping. Now I want to switch between the beams, so go to Input Map in Project Settings. Add the Change Beam Up and Down actions. And assign the mouse scroll wheel. Drag an instance of the gravity beam onto the derp star, and set the position the same as the lasers. Hide it by default, and connect to the decrease energy signal. In the script, add variables for the beam list and index. Then, in the change beam function, I deactivate and hide the current beam. Add amount to the beam index modulated by the number of beams so it stays in bounds. Then show the current beam. Check for the scroll hotkeys and input, and call change beam with 1 or -1 accordingly. Then replace all references of laser to beams at beam index. Now I can change between the beams, but the gravity still isn't working for a couple reasons. In project settings, under Physics 2D, set default gravity to 0. Then on all the bumper ships, reset gravity scale to 1 so the beam gravity can be applied. Also disable can sleep. I do this for the derp star as well, since I plan to add gravity fields that affect the player. But I don't want the gravity beam to affect the player, so change collision to the last layer and leave the mask on first for the gravity beam area and the derp star. This way they can only interact with the bumpers. I do this for the laser as well, and remove the player check from process. Now it's working as intended. I still plan to add health and energy packs next time, which will be affected by the laser. Thank you for watching this derp star update, and have a great day.